Hi, it's Chrissy here, and I wanted to give you a quick run through of a video creation tool that is launching tomorrow called PlayPix. I've had review access to it and I've had a little play with it, and I've made some notes to point out some things, some good things about the app and some things that I think could be improved on and that you maybe ought to know about before you decide to buy it. So here I am inside the PlayPix dashboard, and with PlayPix you can either create videos from scratch, in which case you just click the create button, or you have some done for you templates. When you buy PlayPix you get 9 of these done for you local templates, as you can see here. Okay, and you just choose whichever niche you want to go with, and let's do the real estate one. Just click on the pencil icon there if we want to use this particular done for you template. Okay, so here we are in the video editor, and one of the things I really like about PlayPix is that it has a built-in library of images and videos and also music. And the reason I like that is because it's such a great time saver to be able to access images and videos and music inside an app, so you don't have to go to sites like Pexels and search for an image or a video clip that you want. Then you have to download it to your computer, and then you have to import it to the app before you can start using it, and all that takes time. So if you can do that within the app itself, that's going to save you quite a lot of time. So all you need to do is, key in your search word. In this case, let's go house. And it's brought up a lot of these house images that you could use royalty-free, commercial, for commercial purposes without attribution. And you just do the same with videos. You just type in your keyword. And here's some nice little video clips of dogs playing if you wanted to use those. And music, you can preview the music. And then anything that you want to use, for example, a music track, you just hover over this square sort of little icon here, and you literally would just drag it to the timeline. I'm not going to do that, and I'll tell you why in a minute. The same with the clips, you just hover over that, drag it to the timeline, and it's slotted in there in between these two, or you can move it again right to the end. All right. Okay, I'm just going to delete that because I don't actually want it. Okay, now of course you can also upload your own images, your own videos, your own music, etc. And you would just click on My Files here and click on the Upload button, and that will take you to your computer to browse for wherever you've got your images or clips or music stored to upload. And if you've already uploaded some things, it'll be categorized, into an image, and you just need to search for it there. And you can also record your own voiceovers right from within the app, which is really handy as well. Now, one thing I'll say to you, if you're importing images, there is a maximum size of 1920 by 1080 pixels. You'll get a little warning sign if you try and import anything bigger than that. All right, so let's just quickly preview this video.
Trying to sell your home yourself could leave you utterly frustrated. Complex paperwork, determining correct market value.
Okay, now that's obviously, you're not getting the best quality there, because I know in a video that I watched, Ben Murray, one of the vendors of this app, the creator of the app, it's on a test server at the moment until the launch happens. So it's not as fast rendering as it will be when they actually do have the launch. So don't worry too much about that. It will all be sorted out and be nice and smooth for if you decide to buy this. All right, so back to what's happening with these. Now, let's just talk about this editor a minute. It's a fairly simple video editor. As you can see, you've got the preview screen here, you've got the timeline here. This track is for images and videos. This track is for effects, like transitions in between slides. And this track is for the audio. Okay, so there's literally just one track for video and images, one track for the transitions, and one track for the audio. So that means if you've got a voiceover which you want to add, but you also want to add music, you've got to combine those two together in a separate program, like I don't know, Camtasia or something like that, and then upload it into PlayPix, because there's only one track. So you can either have a voiceover or you can have music, unless you've got a track that's combined that music and voiceover already. So that's one of the things I wish there was two tracks. I wish they'd have thought to have two tracks for audio for that very reason. But they don't, so there's only one. So that's one thing that you just need to be aware of. Okay, so let's click on this clip, and we can click on edit clip. All right, so what you see here, one of the features of PlayPix is they have some pretty cool pan and zoom effects, and this is like what they're calling it there, like advanced Ken Burns style effects, and it's really easy to manipulate. So for example, this little window, it's a bit faint, but you can just see it's called number 2, and that's number 2. That is going to be where the pan and zoom effect ends up. So we start with number 1. Okay, it's got this number 1 up here, and because this number 2 is on top, effectively you're going to have to make it smaller and move it out of the way so you can work with this one. All right, it's still in the way. So how you resize this, if you just have to hover your cursor in this bottom right corner over these little tiny lines, and then you can resize it and reposition it. All right, and you can't do that with number 2 on top if that's in the way, so I've had to move that number 2 out of the way. So basically this means this part of the image is going to be visible from the beginning of the effect, and this number 2 is where the pan and zoom will end up. So let's, in this case, we want it to end up in the bottom corner. Make it bigger and bigger, and there. Now the other thing you can do, let's apply the zoom, and we'll see if it will preview for us. Okay, see, so it's ended up focusing in on that for sale sign, which is pretty neat. Now you can get fairly complicated with this actually, because if you want another zoom, you can click on that and you've got a third window here. Okay, so let's say you want to get a little bit bit more complicated. Let's make this bigger, and now we want it to go across there. Obviously it's kind of less is more sometimes with these sort of effects, but this is what you can do, and you can add up to 7 I believe, and we'll just preview that again. So now it's going across to where we had it before. Now obviously that looks kind of a wee bit silly, but well, just click insert into video. So I'm just trying to give you an idea. Now this is an image, and that pan and zoom effect went too quickly. So what we need to do is you could stretch this image out, and then that would go slower. So let's just click on this to preview. So this pan and zoom effect is going to look a lot smoother.
Your home yourself could leave you utterly frustrated. Complex paperwork, determining correct market value, luring in genuine buyers. These are some of the problems that could slap you hard in the...
Oh, that's interesting. Maybe it's because I didn't save it first. Okay, let's see it now, because it appeared to go to that second image before it should have done.
Trying to sell your home yourself could leave you utterly frustrated.
That's better.
Complex
You can see the pan and zoom is going a lot
value,
slower now.
luring in genuine buyers. These are some of the problems that could slap you hard in the face when you try alone. What you need is a specialist real estate agent.
Okay. All right. So you get the picture anyway. You know, the longer the image goes for, the kind of slower the pan and zoom effect will be. So if you're going to have, you know, 3 or more pan and zoom effects, ideally you want to be having a fairly long time on your image. So minimum time for images is 5 seconds. Maximum time is 20 seconds. All right. So I'm just going to put that back to, it was about 5 seconds I think before. All right, now I'm not sure whether we've got any video clips in here. I was going to show you something with a video clip. No, that's an image. Anyway, we'll work with this one. So we've done the pan and zoom, and let's look at the text now. So you can just type in this box and add your text, or change the text to if you don't like what's here already, if you're using this template. And it's just easy, you know, you just type, and you've got a choice of fonts. It's not a massive collection, but it's sufficient, I think. I like, let's have a look, I like Oswald. There you go, I like Oswald. All right, see how I'm also dragging this around, repositioning the text. You've got a position guide here, and this works just by clicking. So then that's bottom left, bottom right, top right, or center. But I did discover that you can sometimes grab it and move it around. But you see how it's not letting me do it here? Let me just go back to here. Now it's letting me do it. So I don't know whether this is a bit of a glitch or what, but I'm just going to put this here, top center. Now, one of the things that I'm not keen on is that you see how all the text is left aligned. I wish that you could choose the alignment, because to me, I would prefer that to be centered. But you can't, it's all left aligned. Now let's see, yeah, you can change the size of the font, but this is another thing. Maximum is 20. Okay, so that's your maximum font size. I would like to have a little bit, you know, a little bit of scope to go a bit bigger than that, but you can't. So you can change the text color easily just by using this this slider. Let's change it to this nice orange. Reset. No, we don't want to reset. Just click away. And then what you can do as well is you can set an overlay color for the image. So let's say we wanted this to be this red overlay. For some strange reason. Now let's make it, oh no, we don't want to make it yellow. Well, we've made it yellow, but we can also change the transparency, you see, just by dragging this slider. So we just give it a really slight yellow tinge, and then just click away. So what you can do is you can click to set this for all slides. If you wanted all the font to be Oswald, all the font to be 20 pixels and all the font to be orange, then you can set it for all slides, and that would be the positioning as well. Or you can do it on an individual basis. So that's the text, and then let's look at branding. All right, so this is where you upload a logo or a watermark or something like that. Now it says 150 by 150. I'm just going to select a file, and I've got some logos of mine here. Let's say, I know this is not 150 by 150, it's 400 by 97, but it's a logo I want to use, so I'm going to choose this one. And you can see here, this has come into this top right corner. Again, I can drag it around, but it's very distorted, so that's pretty much no good. So you literally, no, it's not letting me drag it again. You literally have to have a square logo, otherwise it's not going to work. Let me choose a different one. I'll choose my this one, square. Okay, now you see that does work now. Now, one of the other things I discovered is you can drag it around to position it, but let me just do this. Okay, and that won't let me drag it. So it's a bit kind of hit and miss a bit in this respect. I'm not sure if this is a glitch or this is something they're going to work on, but that's too small. Okay, but it doesn't seem to be a way for me to resize it right. But look at this. Let's go insert to video, and you can see it working here. Okay, and this was this slide I put it on, wasn't it? So let's go now back into it, edit clip, and back onto the branding tab, and then click on the logo, and look what's appeared. Some sizing nodes. Just going to drag this down, and a rotation handle. So I can now resize my logo. So basically what I had to do, I had to insert it to video and then go back into the image, click on the logo, and then I could resize it. So again, that's just a little, whether that's a little glitch that's going to be ironed out, I'm not sure, but that's how it works at the moment. So I'm just going to, let's put that in the middle, and I'll set it for all slides. Yep, I'm sure. Okay, doesn't look the best, hey, but you know, this is only a test, and I'm only doing things randomly on the hoof just to show you. So click insert video. Okay, what else can I tell you? Let's find a video clip, because I don't think there is one in this particular template. And I'm just going to search for those dogs again, and I'm going to get this nice one here on the end. All right, and then I'm going to go edit clip. All right, so you can see this video clip is 14 seconds long. And let's say I don't want the video clip to be 14 seconds long. That's too long for me. All I want to do is go on to it from there. So I'm going to go here, 3 seconds, and then let's say I'm going to have, I only want literally 3 seconds of video. Okay, so then you go save clip. And now it's going to work to cut that video into that little clip that you want, instead of that whole clip. All right, so that's it. That's your preview. And you go to clip video, and it will just take a few seconds while it does its clipping work. Okay, now that's done, and we can put some text on that video if we want to, and we can do everything we could do with those images that I showed you before, and we can change the branding and that kind of thing. All right, now we did set the branding for all clips beforehand, but This is a new one we've added in after we set that setting. So we're going to have to do that again if you want the logo to appear on here. So we just go insert to video, and now we have this clip of this 3-second clip of this dog on the end. Now, there's another thing that I'm wishing that you could do, and that is with most video editors, you can kind of scrub through the timeline, but with this one you can't. I click play,
Trying to sell your home yourself.
and here's the timeline, but you can't drag it like you can with
luring in genuine buyers.
sorry, you can't drag it like you can with most video editors to a particular part of the video that you want to preview. You have to preview the whole thing all the way through. So that's another thing that's a little niggle for me, but possibly isn't an issue for you. What else is there? Let's have a look. Just looking at my notes here. All right, you might have noticed that the text doesn't animate. It's literally just there. It just appears. And the other thing is, okay, yeah. Let's say, for example, one thing you've got to be aware of, this first clip, just checking, there's no undo or redo button. That's another thing about this app. So I'm not going to do this, but let's say, for example, you decided you didn't like this particular image. Okay, edit clip and go, excuse me, let's go edit clip. We'll edit clip and we click on the bin to delete it. But what's going to happen is the rest of these slides to the right are just going to automatically snap and fill this gap. So if you've got a voiceover that you need these images to match up to, and you need to put your replacement in for the image you've deleted, you need to know how long that was. And the only way to find that out is by looking and guessing, sort of, almost along here. So, you know, so this clip was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds, let's say, for example, this image. So you've got to remember that. So we'll delete that. See, it's snapped together, and then we're going to put a different image in. Let's put an elephant. Oops, I didn't grab it with this handle, and we put it there where we wanted it. Okay. Oh, where's my elephant gone? Oh, there it is. And it automatically comes in at 10 seconds. Okay, if you want it differently, you need to close the gap up and put it back to the original duration. Okay, so that's another little thing you've got to remember. And the thing is, if you want to change the initial image or clip, if you delete that, you will also delete this audio track. And I heard in a video when Ben was talking, he said that's just the way it's been coded. So I don't know why they coded it like that. It doesn't seem to make sense, but just be aware that if you delete that, your audio track is going to get deleted and you're going to have to import it again. And I think that was all the notes that I had on this particular thing. So as you can see, it's actually quite easy to use. There are some things, as I say, I like about it, and there's some things I wish were a little bit different. But if you're after a really pretty simple video creation tool where you can knock out videos fairly quickly, then this might be for you. Don't forget, when you finish, click save, and then you can render your video. All right, so I will just click save on that one. And then should take us, that's it, it's saved it, so it will be in your dashboard now. Okay, there it is. So you can go back to it and edit it later if you want to, or you can download it. Let's see. Where do we download it? I'm not sure. Let's click edit again. I know. It's because I'd just saved it. I hadn't actually rendered it. That's why there's no instructions to download it. But this one, because I've already rendered this, then you see the download and the preview button. Now what else can I show you? Okay, so let's just click on this create button, and this is to create a video from scratch. So we'll just go test again. Oh, already exists. We'll go test 2. And here we are. We've got a blank canvas now, pretty much. So just remember, I didn't show you the effects that you can add to the clips and the images. They're actually transitions. Whoopsie, remember to grab it by this handle, drop that onto the timeline. Okay, now I'm going to drop this one next to it. Okay, so what happens is when you drop images here, you get this little placeholder for a transition. Excuse me. And to add the transition, you go to the Effects tab, and these are pretty much like fairly standard, like with things like PowerPoint and Camtasia, ScreenFlow and that kind of thing. So you just, again, grab it by this square and drag it down to here. And then you're going to have a crossfade. And let's do a blur in. Oops, that didn't come. There you go. You have to wait till that white box appears. All right, now let's go to video. All right, I'm just going to grab this video clip of the beach. And do you notice that there is no placeholder for the transition? And that's because when you're using a video clip, you can't have those transitions. So it's just going to go straight from the still image onto the video. You can only have these transition effects between images. Okay, let's try adding, let's get this one in. Oh, always remember to take it by the square. Okay, so this time we have got a little transition box placeholder. So it means you can't have a transition from an image to a video, but you can have a transition from a video to an image. So, and again, drag it down to there. Okay, just save that then, and so that's pretty much everything I kind of need to say about PlayPix. Like I say, it's a fairly simple system. Good points it's got, just to recap, it's got the built-in image, video library, music library, so that's a big time saver. You can easily brand the video or watermark it if you're doing videos for clients. You can make some pretty cool motion effects, Ken Burn style effects with the zoom and pan function, and you can add up to 6 or 7, I'm not 100% sure whether it's 6 or 7 different motion sort of directions, I suppose, motion tracks onto each video, onto each image. And what else? And okay, text, yeah, I've got a few niggles with the text. Like I said, you can only go up to 20. One thing I didn't mention was this overlay color. Okay, if I click on that and I choose a green color, and I choose that color, let's say, you can see now this image has a green overlay on it, which is handy if you want to change an image, the look of an image slightly, and you want your text to stand out more. And you can change the opacity of it as well. You can make it as green or as opaque as you want. So that's handy if you want just to have a slide that's just a solid background, for example, and you don't actually want the image itself to show through. And again, you can set these settings for all slides at once if you want, or you just treat them individually. Okay, so that's PlayPix, and that's launching tomorrow at 10 a.m. And I believe the front end is going to start out at $29. That's a one-off, and you can create as many videos as you like. I do believe you're limited to about 15 minutes in length, which is plenty for most videos. And yeah, that's about it. See if you like it. If there's anything else I can help you with, just drop me a quick message and ask me. One other thing I wanted to show you were they do have video tutorials. So you've got an overview of using the software, talks about the done for you campaigns, about using the image and video editor, using and adding video, and how to add clients. So that's going to be pretty handy too. All right, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye.